For the second straight day in Project 70, we got to lay our eyes upon a brand new player. But is that card any good? So right now, in the comments below, leave your print run guess. The person nearest that print run without going over will win that card free for me. Now, don't leave your print run guess in tonight's video. You have to go back to Monday night's video and put your print run guess in for that Derek Jeter by Ermsey. I will tell you, the guesses are all over the map, so we're going to see where this card lands in the next couple of hours. Hopefully, we get those print runs tomorrow afternoon. But welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, otherwise I'm on Twitter, and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And the website that you want to go to for everything related to Project 70 and also purchase every single card that gets released in the set for just $18. It is my website, CRTsportscards.com. Now, before we begin, the one thing I meant to show on the Monday night video was my 11th foil that I hit over the weekend, or actually when I was on vacation. I did also hit a second foil, but that foil, the Juan Soto by Sophia Chang, went to a buyer of the base card from the website orders. But here is my 11th foil. It is the Acuna Jr. by Gregory Siff. The very raw Acuna here by Gregory Siff. Just looks amazing with foil, and this is number 20 of 70. So let's get to it. It is Wednesday night in the set. There was not a show last night. I do apologize about that. I just wasn't able to prepare enough properly at lunch for a Tuesday night show. So instead of muscling it out, I decided just to scrap it all together. But I do want to give credit where credit is due, and that goes to Blake Jamieson. For now the fourth straight time in Project 70, he has delivered us a brand new player to the set. His release yesterday of Joe Mauer was just great to see. We knew the card was coming. It wasn't a real surprise, but he is the artist right now in the set, delivering us the rarest player set out there. When you look at all of his cards combined, the average release for Blake Jamieson is just 2.92. And when you take a look at all 51 artists together, that average is 9.5. So you see the gulf right here of Blake set versus everyone else. So every time you see another Tatis, another Ohtani, go back to Blake Jamieson set and go, you know what? I got Bobby Valentine, I got Miguel Cabrera, and now I have Joe Mauer. So we will see. He has 7 cards remaining. He has released an Acuna Jr., so we won't hold it against him because he has released so many other new players in the set. But we will see at the end of this, will he continue to blaze his own path, or will we start to see in the future more common names from Blake Jamieson in Project 70? And now for those inquiring out there around what is the 51st most common player set out there, it is actually owned by Undefeated. Their average player release right now is 15. So you can see right there, Undefeated only going after the big names. So when you think about what cards could be coming for Undefeated, you're probably going to see a lot more bigger names. You're not going to see any new name players like maybe a Trey Turner like we saw today from Jonas Never. But now, who else joined Jonas Never today in Project 70? First up, it was Pose with the 12th Ichiro in the set. This is also the 10th card from 1955 Topps and the 34th Seattle Mariner. There is that Trey Turner card here. This is the very first time we've seen Turner. This is also the 8th card from 1973 and the 64th Los Angeles Dodger. Then we have Fernando Tatis Jr. for the 25th time, this time by Brittany Palmer. This is her 14th card. This is also only the 4th card from 2007, and this is the 31st card from the San Diego Padres. And then ending the day is Babe Ruth. This is now the 17th Ruth, this time by Infinite Archives. They use 1962 Topps. This is the 8th card from 62, and from a Yankee perspective, this is card number 132. But now when you saw that Babe Ruth on the website this morning, if you're like, didn't we just have this card like 20 cards ago? You are right, but you're also wrong at the same time. And I thought it was actually the same photo that Undefeated used for their Babe Ruth, card number 593. But no, it is a very, very different image, even though the cards look very similar. So we'll see which one sells better. But my eye was immediately drawn to the fact that this card was just released 2 weeks ago. And now also of note here, this is now the second Babe Ruth of the week. Yesterday we saw King Saladin release his Babe Ruth, and also, by the way, the Meet the Artist series is now new again. There is a King Saladin episode, so check out Topps' YouTube page. You can check out King Saladin, and also last week they released Claw Money, so definitely check out all of those videos around our favorite artists if you've not checked them out so far. Second up now, and the very first horizontal card of the day, it is going to be the Ichiro by Pose. And look, there are a lot of things going on this card, and for me, as an Ichiro fan, as an Ichiro collector, this card for me just completely misses the mark. And yes, I know it kind of has his name, the Ichiro. That's kind of neat. There's, of course, the Sonics logo in the background. We saw that in the bin baller Kyle Lewis. But let's be real here. There is Ichiro barely on the card. His face is right there. His eyes are right there. But I never expected to have a card in the set of a player and the player basically be not even on the card. So maybe in the next Ichiro, we will get Ichiro back on the card. But for me, this one, as an Ichiro collector, I again here will close my eyes. I will buy this card, but this one is going to go at the bottom of my list for Ichiro cards in Project 70. But now shifting away from a player that we don't really have on the card to a player that is very visible on the card, and also another really cultural reference here. We have Brittany Palmer releasing her second video game theme card in the set. Her first one was Pac-Man with the Jim Palmer, and now we have Fernando Tatis Jr. Apparently the missing piece to the puzzle of a team that didn't make the playoffs this year. So I don't really know if Tatis is the missing piece. I don't know if this card is going to be the missing piece to Brittany Palmer's set, but we do have the 25th Tatis. The good thing here is some of these cards that have cultural references, you think back to like the Pokemon Kishore, which I still think is a Digimon card, but everyone's got this Pokemon, so we're just going to go with Pokemon here. Some of those cards have done really well on the secondary market. And look, Tetris is legendary. So we will see how this card does on the secondary market in the next 3 to 4, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. But I will say she did use the proper year for a Tetris card. Having this be 2007 Topps with the squares around the border, I thought it was an excellent choice for this card. This design of a card would not have worked on a lot of years, but it worked perfectly for 2007. But now the $1 million question of the day. If a player gets a new card released in the set, should it just be an excellent version of the card? Because these are going to be fans who could potentially come into the set because of one single card. Or if the card is not very good, does that hurt the set overall? Here it is. We have that Trey Turner. And when I first saw this card this morning on the website, I said, this cannot be a Jacob Rochester card. I thought it was, but I'm like, Jacob Rochester would not do that to Trey Turner's face. Now, the card depicts that very famous slide where he slid into home and stood right up. That is just an incredible slide altogether. I give Trey Turner all the credit in the world for the ability to do that. But this card, that face, Trey Turner looks like drunk or looking off into first. I don't know what he's doing, and I don't know what Jonas Never is doing with this card. I will say that knowing that I can't paint this card, I can't do this, but the face on this card, if I'm a Trey Turner fan, I don't know how I buy this card because it just doesn't look like Trey Turner. And so now the good thing is in about 70 to 72 hours, we're going to know how well or not how well this card was received from the buyers around Project 70. The low mark in this set right now is 586. So in the comments below, leave your print run guess. I'm just curious what you think this card's going to land. I'm not giving away for free. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just curious, what are your thoughts? Am I in the minority on this card, or am I in the majority of my thoughts around this Trey Turner card? And now with that, this will complete your Wednesday night daily download for Topps Project 70. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button right now. So now the $1 million question, or maybe the $20 question for all of us in Project 2020, or Project 70, oops.